Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. We'll begin with our top stories. The population of Canal town have vehemently condemned the bloody attack at the ceremonial ground where they gathered this morning in neighboring Mbui division. Separatist fighters interrupted church service on Sunday as a means of forestalling Youth Day celebration. And the day after February 11, commotion and excitement, Yaoundé portrays her double feast today and Monday, while those of the formal sector like schools are observing a public holiday today. Business persons like in the informal sector are at their daily businesses or routine activities. We'll tell you more in this edition of Newscast. And Sunday, the 11th of February, was the final clap of the 34th edition of the African Cup of Nations. The finals was between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Elephants of Ivory Coast. The Elephants record their third, while Super Eagles lost a fifth final in the AFCON history. Those are major stories. Details right ahead. Good evening once more. The population of Canal in the northwest region have vehemently condemned the bloody attack at the ceremonial ground where they gathered this morning in neighboring Mbui division. Separatist fighters interrupted a church service on Sunday as a means of forestalling a Youth Day celebration. More with our northwest correspondent, Annie Collins. Annie.
It is another the ghost town and lockdown calls. On Sunday, 11th February, fighters in Jakiri in the Bui division of the Northwest region at gunpoint ordered all worshippers out of the Roman Catholic Church, Jakiri Parish, thereby interrupting church service.
What is that child?
In Widikum in Momo division, it is still not clear who set ablaze the building of the government high school in the locality. Bushfire is suspected to have encroached into the compound, while others point accusing fingers to separatists. 24 hours after the bomb blast at the Nkambe grandstand, the population has Monday gathered at the same venue for an ecumenical service to denounce the act. Meanwhile, elected authorities have joined voices to condemn the attack on school children.
We are calling on all the sons and daughters of Nkambe to be calm, to be vigilant, to be more vigilant. The SOCIETE has taken its positions and the security forces are doing all their best to apprehend all the perpetrators of this barbaric act. And the population of Nkambe will not give in to fear. I know that it's a difficult moment for us, but they are going to come out on top, and I call on our people to be calm.
Apart from the men and women of God, women in general staged a protest march on the streets of the town before converging on the palace to join their men in traditional rites. They poured out incantations in the Limbum language against the repeats of any such bloody and deadly incident on their people who have for 7 years now been an island of peace in the turbulent northwest region.
And in spite of the lockdown call from separatist fighters and with the help of security forces, youths representing all categories made it to the ceremonial ground yesterday for the annual appointments of the day dedicated to them. Some of them assaulted where they did the essential that of marching past the authorities led by the governor. Annie Collins. Annie, tell us more.
Amidst tight security, pupils, students, and other youths have this Sunday, February 11, 2024, taken part in celebrations marking the 58th edition of the National Youth Day on the Commercial Avenue Grandstand in Bamenda. Shortly after the arrival of the governor who chaired the manifestations, there was a replay of the English version of the head of state's address to the youths, which address attracted the attention of the organizers of the manifestations.
The youth have followed keenly the message of encouragement of the head of state in different domains, including what they are doing to bring the nation to emerge come 2035 like they asked us to go. It was also an opportunity for us during the week of activities to show how in cultural domains, sport activities and other activities.
Before the close to 1 hour march past, the youths were sensitized on the importance of national emblems, the same emblems that some are today dragging in mud for political reasons.
It's fantastic. That is wonderful. This is what we've been crying for the youths to be trained of particular competence, not just this classic education that we've been carrying on. We want them actually to go into professionalism.
In the absence of nursery schools, the primary level opened the ball for march past, followed by secondary and higher education sectors, each of which carried a copy of the three-color flag and their respective signposts and a few messages depicting national issues.
Why this flag under the reins? It is criminal to desecrate this flag, to hold or manhandle it, to destroy it in any form, to burn it. This message from the regional delegation of Minjek is encouraging all young people to respect the flag.
Socio-cultural groups and the CPDM political party closed the show, which also saw the participation of various regional delegations of ministerial departments. Holding in Bamenda 2 subdivision, there was the conspicuous absence of the divisional officer who is still recovering from the trauma of the recent kidnap on the road to Nkambe.
From traditional Northwest dances to inclusive youth expressions, the Bamun-dominated Fumban community welcomes internally displaced persons amidst discussion on youth empowerment, post-head of state address, schools and political parties unite, echoing a collective identity, the encouragement for outstanding parade participants, foster pride, escapulating Jilapon celebration as a symbol of unity and patriotism. More in the following story. In the vibrant atmosphere, Jitapong witnessed a captivating performance of traditional dance originating from the Northwest region. The community, comprising predominantly of the Bamun people, peacefully coexists with internally displaced individuals who actively participated in the February 11, 2024 parade. Jitapong Issa, the paramount chief of the Jitapong group, clad in a distinctive blue gandura, emphasized the presence of internally displaced persons in Jitapong. Celebrating multiculturalism and national unity, the youths of Jitapong expressed strong sentiments during the festivities, emphasizing their collective identity as one undivided youth. Following the head of state address to youth residents of Jitapong situated in Koptamu, non-division, equally had discussions of thematic that has to do with youth empowerment. Students from kindergarten, primary and secondary schools in Jitapong showcased their patriotic commitment through coordinated songs and movements. 13 public and private educational institutions, along with political parties and the likes of CPDM and UDC, actively participated in the celebration. Outstanding participants in the parades receive encouragement and motivation from the authorities, fostering a sense of pride and unity in Jitapong. In summary, Jitapon's February 11 celebration highlights the coexistence of diverse communities, fostering a spirit of unity and patriotism among its residents. And a day after February 11, commotion and excitement as Yaoundé portrays a double face this Monday, while those of the formal sector, like schools, are observing a public holiday today. Those in the informal sector, like business persons, were at their daily routines. More on the story with our reporter, Beatrice Ngamu.
One can count the number of vehicles plying the roads today in Yaoundé, like the pedestrians also. It is Monday, February 12, day after the Youth Day celebration and its accompanying activities. Once around the administrative quarters, there is total calm. Workers are at home enjoying their day, so too schools and other services. Between Finance Ministry and Immobile Roads, these business persons answered present for their daily affairs. What they offer those at the ministry and passers-by. If she can sell 15 plates of food today, good. But less than 10, she adds, will be a loss. Like her, a few others out for business despite the odd. To gain time and catch up with some paperwork, this man was at the office today morning. Going out daily, Sunday inclusive, a routine for these informal actors as it's about their daily bread. A day also for them to make good sales and why not huge profit. Those who usually find it difficult to come to the market do so on public holidays. You get a good customer, you sell better than other days. Absence of passengers, this yellow cab driver cry starts with fuel and loss for the day. Tuesday, February 13, activities are likely to return to its natural state and rhythm, especially with Valentine's Day and Ash Wednesday ushering of Lenten season come February 14, 2024.
And in a pivotal gathering at the Aiming Youth Summit 2024 that held in Douala over the weekend, experts from diverse backgrounds addressed the present concerns discouraging youths from immigration. The summit shed light on pervasive issues like poverty, overpopulation, unemployment, and the Western-centric obsession. While these challenges are acknowledged, the emphasis shifted towards fostering a change in mindset that empowers self-economic growth of youths. More in the following story.
Vocational training in Cameroon is considered as the bedrock of consolidating entrepreneurship, foster competition in national economy, and job creation. Reason why it is gaining the means and opportunities to excel. The head of state in his address to the youths February 10 announced this good news to young Cameroonians like parents.
I have also prescribed the reduction of school fees in vocational training centers of excellence from 500,000 francs CFA to 50,000 francs CFA to enable the greatest number of youth to access quality training.
Saluted as opening for parents to embrace in a bid to ensure their children receive the training necessary for their livelihood.
It really touched the youths about unemployment, that youths are really crying today, and the reduction of the training school amount of money payment that they have to pay from 500,000 to 50,000. We are really happy those poor can gain towards that. They will do everything.
Another instruction announced by the head of state includes the setting up of a competitive skills development mechanism.
It helps to finance initial and continuing worker training. It also seeks to build the capacities of stakeholders in the social economy and the informal sector where many young people operate.
Vocational training aimed at imparting to trainees and apprentices the knowledge, skills, and competence required to practice a trade or gain access to job.
That was rather a story by Beatrice Nkamo. And we take this other story on the Amy Youth Summit 2024 that has gathered youths in Douala to discourage them about illegal immigration. Let's watch. Youths representing various segments of society converged at the Amy Youth Summit 2024, displaying a collective consciousness about the issues driving immigration.
The youths now go out, they take the cultures from somewhere else and bring it to us, and slowly we are losing our own culture. So it is all about bringing the youths together, trying to tell them that there is still hope through entrepreneurship.
Telling them that there are so many young persons who are succeeding in Cameroon because they have looked beyond their challenges, they have looked beyond what stops or what gives them the impression that they cannot succeed.
The resounding message from the experts was a call for a paradigm shift, urging young individuals to redirect their focus from seeking greener pastures abroad to investing in transformative local projects.
They don't distribute money nowhere in the world. People who enter sea but go to Europe by sea, they go by the road or by air. There is no guarantee that they will make that money there, because I know many broke people in Europe. I know majority of the broke, fake live projectors are in Europe than in Cameroon. I would believe a truck pusher, I would believe a bike rider in Cameroon who earns their money genuinely than someone who lives in Europe when I don't even know what you are doing. So there is no comparison.
The government, recognizing the need for socio-economic integration, has introduced projects aimed at empowering and uplifting the youth.
When you look at the Sustainable Development Goals, all different development partners who are present in Cameroon are putting at the forefront and as priority the income-generating part of young persons.
As the Amy Youth Summit coincided with the National Youth Day celebration, it served as a pregnant moment to rally youth to seize control of their destinies. The event underscored the importance of local empowerment, encouraging young individuals to be architects of their own success rather than seeking prosperity in foreign lands. Amidst the mounting challenges and grievances from the population of Bangante in the west region of Cameroon, Andre Christian Olomo has stepped into his role as a new sub-divisional officer tasked with addressing a myriad of issues facing the population. Gladys Ambodiban completes her story for us. Andre Christian Olomo is now the new divisional officer of the Bangante subdivision. He was officially installed February 9, 2024, during the handover ceremony where the population, through its mayor, recounted the string of grievances, amongst them land issues. The new administrator is therefore expected to resolve the numerous problems faced by the approximately 235,000 people who live in the subdivision.
The council always carry out social activities for the development of the people. The council remains the poor parent in issues of land tenure. This situation stifles our development and breeds conflict in some communities.
The 44-year-old former subdivisional officer of Okala received instructions from Auguste Esomba, the senior divisional officer of the division.
Give a listening ear to your population. Work in collaboration with the active forces for the general interest of the people.
Andre Christian Olomo replaces Atanganazwe Evariste, who has been called for other duties. And women in the Douala 4 Council area have put up a fight against gender-based violence, a campaign led by the Divisional Delegation of Women Empowerment and the Family Douala 4, backed by association defending the rights of women. Other issues affecting women like parental guidance, female genital mutilation were also discussed. Let's watch more in the following story. In the hearts of Douala, Douala 4 subdivision stands as a significant community grappling with various challenges, notably gender-based violence. According to alarming statistics from the Divisional Delegation of Women Empowerment and the Family in Douala 4, a substantial number of internally displaced persons IDPs further compound the vulnerability of this area. In response to these problems, a campaign has emerged uniting women to raise awareness about the imperative need to condemn all forms of violence against women.
You find here in Douala 4 a mixed population, and there's a high rates of IDPs present, high number of IDPs present here in Douala 4. And we've come to realize that we have more cases of violence in Douala 4. The statistic has increased. So
drawing upon expertise from different associations, the campaign addresses pressing concerns such as gender-based violence, parental guidance, stringent control over children to prevent drug consumption, and the eradication of female genital mutilation.
The way you talk to your children, the way you bring them closer to you, don't be harsh to them. Just put them down. Then when you gather them and pray for them, more to that, they will always abide in you to hear that what mommy is saying is right.
We should educate our children from the low age so that they should know how to live in peace, in harmony with others. For women, whenever they are being violated, they should scream.
The women were emphatically urged to denounce violence that negatively affects women's well-being and prevents women from fully participating in society. And that report brings us to the end of this edition of the Primetime Newscast, the English language and Canal de International. Thanks so much for watching. But coming up next is The Brief with Lil Piaget. As for me, I will be back same time tomorrow. Good night.